It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant. The Brilliant
So fun. You know what I think? What a fucking idiot is. There's this. It's all the Democrats, like the super left Democrats, not the moderates that are probably very happy with these choices, but the super left. It's going to be so funny to see them all start to like justify Biden and Kamala, two people that they were vehemently against within the Democratic Party because they were like establishment politicians. It is hilarious to see them all start to fold back into this is a perfect opportunity. This is great. You know, there's that tweet going around, and I can't verify it, but like Sean King back in, I think, 2018 was like, two people I cannot get behind. That's accurate? He literally goes, two people I cannot get behind are Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and then literally yesterday tweets out, Kamala Harris, we got to get behind her, a black woman in the Oval Office, and da-da-da-da. Come on, bro.
Well, you know, I'm a person that's been on record supporting Kamala Harris. Mm-hmm. I like Kamala Harris. I would tell, and like I've always said, I would tell people to do their research on Kamala Harris, because what turned me on to Kamala Harris was back in 2015 when I started paying attention to the progressive stuff that I heard she was doing, you know, as a prosecutor. And in particular, the Back on Track program. Back on Track program, it took nonviolent offenders on a path to like new jobs and helped them rebuild within their communities. And even her stance on weed, that's why I never understood when Tulsi Gabbard came at her the way that she did, because it was always kind of widely known that Kamala was a supporter of like marijuana. Like, she had weed cases that she would routinely reduce to misdemeanors, and weed possession cases weren't even on her dockets. Like, she wouldn't even charge folks for that. So it's weird to me. It's actually a great opinion piece that was written yesterday by a public defender in San Francisco. Her name is Nikki Solis, and she spoke on Kamala being the most progressive DA in California. And what was so interesting about that article, she said, let me see if I can find this. I can read it real quick.
Again, I wish I knew more about Kamala. I just know that there have been people who are incredibly critical of her. And
she's a prosecutor.
Right,
this is what she said. Nikki said, I grappled with this idea of defending a former prosecutor for a long time, but I have to say what I feel is right. To set the record straight on Harris. And the headline of the article is, public defender, I worked with Kamala Harris. She was the most progressive DA in California. And she said that, they didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. But she said for the most part, she was a progressive prosecutor.
I think, and again, I need to look into Kamala more. I'm sure there's plenty to be critical of, but I'm sure there's plenty to be supportive of. And I think it's actually a smart choice because they're going after the moderates. The extreme left is never voting Trump. They're either not going to vote or they're going to vote Democrat because that's what they do. They're already locked in their ways. Everybody is fighting for the people in the middle. And people in the middle who are looking at rioting in cities and going, oh my God, I don't want any of that. I own a home. I don't want anybody to throw, bottles at my windows. People who look at the kind of unrest that you see happening right now, regardless of how they feel about race or anything else, they do want, as Trump often says, law and order. And who better to deliver law and order to those people in the middle than a fucking prosecutor? That makes people comfortable, man.
You know, Trump keeps talking about the suburbs and the boogeyman, the dog whistles he's throwing out, like, oh, Black Lives Matter is going to come to your house, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you something. I want to tell all you motherfuckers something. When you got 40 to 50 million people unemployed in these streets,
they're gonna come.
You living in these suburbs behind these gated communities, you better go Google Tupac from the 90s when Tupac was talking about how when you got this country that isn't taking care of its people and you got the wealth gap so extreme and you got these people at the bottom and these people at the top, but the people at the bottom can see what the people at the top are eating. At first, it's going to start with knock, knock, knock. Hey, we're hungry. Could you please let us in? They singing a song. Next thing you know, it's going to be knock, knock, knock. Yo, man, we fucking hungry. Could you please let us in? Next thing you know, it's going to be kicking down the door, coming through blasting because y'all got all this motherfucking food and y'all ain't sharing that shit. So America, this ain't got nothing to do with race. This got to do with money. If you think for 1 second that Black Lives Matter protesters walking across your lawn is the problem, wait until fucking in a few weeks when you start seeing motherfuckers jumping your gates because they know that's where the motherfucking money and the food at.
And who better to tell Black Lives Matter protesters specifically to not go and break into gates or break into those communities?
It ain't gonna be just Black Lives Matter, though.
But wait, I'm just saying, let's say it is. Let's say it is.
No, let's not say it is.
You just said it. I'm going off your hypothetical.
I said poor people. I said 40 million unemployed people.
I'm going off of your hypothetical.
I said 40 million. If I did, I was wrong, but I said 40 million unemployed people. I actually said it's not about race. I said it's about poor and rich. Right. And you're going to have poor people jumping the gates of these communities to get into these motherfucking communities.
Right.
By the way, I live in one of those communities.
Right? No, I know. The point I'm making has nothing to do with race in terms of the protest. What I'm saying is, let's say you did need somebody to condemn the Black Lives Matter protest. Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm saying, let's say if you're part of the government, you're part of the establishment, politicians, and you need someone to condemn it. You can't have Joe Biden, the author of the crime bill, the guy who's got sketchy racial past, be the one to condemn it. But you know what you might want to do? You might want to have that prosecutor who is a black woman condemn it, because she's going to get way less smoke and she's going to make way more people feel comfortable.
Yeah, but she's not though. That's actually what was one of the
we'll see.
Really that was one of the really impressive things when everything was going on. Senator Harris was on the front lines really talking people through these protests, really talking about why these people are in the streets, why these people are out there doing what they're doing. She was doing a masterful job at that, actually. The best thing that happened to Senator Harris was she dropped out of the presidential race. Because it's like from then, it's like her star just rose. That's when Maya Rudolph started spoofing her on SNL. Right. And then these protests and everything started happening. George Floyd started happening. And she started getting out front on she was the only person, I said this on the podcast, she was the only person who answered the defunding the police question perfectly.
What she said?
Didn't let Megan on The View catch her up. They asked her, does she believe in defunding the police? And she said, well, I absolutely believe in taking resources from these bloated police budgets and putting them back in the communities. And then Megan goes, but do you believe in defunding the police? And she goes, well, Megan, what does defunding the police mean to you? You just asked me and I answered, because she's smart enough to know not to fall, but those words. Defund the police has become a trigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some gotcha.
It's like a gotcha. It's like, oh, she really wants to abolish the police and get rid of
journalism, police. For sure.
She answered that question the best out of everybody that week. I actually said that on every program that I was on.
Here's the question, right? I think we all agree Biden is a corpse, right? There's no reason that he should be running. It's absolutely pathetic. It's sad.
I'm not voting for Joe Biden.
It is sad. Yes, exactly.
I'm voting for Senator Kamala Harris.
Exactly. And it's sad that the Democrats have even propped him up this long, and they are thanking their lucky stars that Corona has happened so that he doesn't have to do any of these public speaking events or he doesn't have to debate Trump. They're so lucky that this has happened. And they'll probably want to extend this as far as it possibly can go, as close as it possibly can be for the election to protect him. But when we're voting for the president, we really are voting for Kamala because I think they give Biden a year in there. I think they give him a year, and then he goes, honestly, I'm tired. It's hard for me. I'm too old for this. Kamala's going to take over. I think he's out of there in a year. So are you ready to vote for Kamala as your president? I think that's the question you have to ask.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
I think Senator Harris should be on the top of the ticket now. I thought that when she ran in the primaries. I mean, I was asked, like you can Google it. I was asked on like CBS or something. They asked me like if I had to vote right now, who would I vote for? I said Senator Kamala Harris. And I didn't know that was an endorsement. You know, they asked me if I had to vote right now, who would I vote for? And I said her. But yes, I think she's absolutely ready to run day one. And that would be another smart thing for Joe Biden to do. It would be smart to show us what your shadow cabinet might look like. You know what I'm saying? Reveal to us who else is going to be around you. Because I highly doubt you would just go see a Hawkeye movie just starring Hawkeye. I might, because I love the Marvel characters, but the Democrats don't have that kind of cachet with me. But if you show me a Hawkeye movie and then you show me like, well, Captain America's in this too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or Black Panther's in this too. Even if it's just in the trailer for a second, I might go check it out.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. But Yeah, I mean, listen, Senator Harris to me is like is kind of like the Cardi and Meg video and song.
Okay.
Polarizing, baby. And I said this. I said the reason she would be the best choice is because there's nobody else he could put on his ticket that would even move the needle. Bro, I don't care if they love you or hate you. Are they talking about you? Are you creating some type of energy? Do they have to pay attention to you?
Right.
That's what Senator Harris brings to the ticket as far as marketing and promotion. Let's not act like it's not a goddamn party. And Andrew, you know just as well as I do, when you're promoting something, you got to put something on the motherfucking flyer. You got to put something on the motherfucking bill that people want to see. Okay? Are you going to put seats in the stands with this motherfucking ticket?
Right.
Yes, you will.
Right.
Everybody else, I don't know. I don't know anybody else that might have did it for him in this way.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I would also encourage people, go do your own research on Senator Harris.
I need to look into her. I really don't know that much.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. Don't listen to the Twitter. Don't listen to Instagram. Don't listen to YouTube. Don't listen to Trump supporters. Go do your own research. It's so much stuff on there about her and her record.
Sorry. Why are we even allowing Joe Biden to run for president? Why is everybody okay with that? Like, that is mind-boggling to me.
We had Trump run for president.
I felt that way about Trump, bro.
He doesn't have cognitive decline. Like, I would rather, let me really get this right. Let me slice this thin here. I would rather a person who was sane and had their wherewithal, whatever that term is, than a person who I disagreed with on a lot of viewpoints than a person who didn't have their brain.
I think that Trump
100%.
doesn't have cognitive decline, but he don't have cognitive anything when it comes to being a president.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
I would
he has no experience whatsoever.
But think about it.
And it shows.
Think about this. Who would you rather watch your kid, right? Someone who you disagreed with politically on things and even maybe disagreed with on how to watch your kid, or someone who had literally lost their mind?
First of all, I'm not letting none of them watch my kids until we figure this Pizzagate shit out. All right? Okay? So
Are you all in, bro?
I don't even know why you said watch the kid.
Are you on QAnon?
I don't know. I'm just seeing all these goddamn pizza slices and people's comments and shit.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers talking about Pizzagate. I'm not letting none of these motherfuckers watch my kids until Pizzagate. Hey,
yeah.
I give you another fun fact. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I knew this the whole time. I learned this from the public defender. The public defender, Nikki Solis, said how Kamala Harris founded this coalition called the Coalition to End the Exploitation of Kids. And she said Kamala spearheaded a task force to combat the human trafficking of young girls, and that Kamala didn't prosecute young girls for prostitution. She recognized they were victims who needed treatment for trauma and not criminals who needed to be in jail. When I read that, I was like, wow, like that is one of those talking points that right now, amidst all this goddamn pizza, that would stand out. Because I see a lot of people like really going after these politicians, going after these people that they think are part of this secret
pedophile ring,
society, pedophile ring. So if you see somebody who has a record for years, not somebody that just started doing this shit, somebody who has a record for years going against human traffickers and not, prosecuting young women for prostitution and actually helping them to get trauma, helping them to heal their trauma, that could go a long way, bro.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I tell everybody, just do your research to Senator Kamala Harris. That's all I ask. That's it. And listen, make up your own mind. Ain't nobody making you vote. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm voting for Senator Kamala Harris.